You are so prego.
Yeah, I'm keeping it real. For anybody that doesn't watch our YouTube channel, go to Raw Talk Not Food. Definitely watch us because my feet are up right now. So I'm keeping
Yeah.
it real. You gave me a lymphatic massage. It's funny because you gave it to me and you helped so much with all of how big my legs have been from all the
Well, the
water.
water retention.
And then my husband goes, "Are you going to call everything a lymphatic massage from now on?" I was like, "Yes, I am actually, because I think there's so much water coming in and out of this body that, we need to drain that."
Well, I mean, I remember, okay, I was pregnant.
Yes,
and
cute pregnant.
Shanna was getting married, and we had a bachelorette, which was a great bachelorette.
She was sober the whole time.
I was surrounded by all these drunk moms.
We never
that
left
were
the house.
So happy to be away from their children.
No clubbing, no strippers, just the house away from the kids. Everyone was very happy.
Oh my God. And I'm like uber sober. And and there was a pool, which was lovely. It was a beautiful home. And they're all swimming there. And I'm just like dangling my legs on the side of the pool like I'm in waddle mode at this point.
So cute.
And Corey was the one that was like, "Your legs, Vanessa." And I was just like, "What?" And I've never been pregnant before. I don't know what it is,
so
but
cute.
yeah, you're just feeling.
And Corey was in season 1. So if you haven't watched
Yes.
Corey's season 1, you'll know what she's talking about. She's a dynamite. Yeah.
Oh, she is.
Yeah.
So she goes, and she's blasting. So like she's like, "That's it. Get in the couch." And so I'm like, okay. I go to the couch. And she just starts massaging my legs, and it's like needles coming through my. They were so swollen, and I didn't realize because I could barely even see my toes, and like
I'm coming in drunk watching this. I'm like, "Oh, is it okay?" She's like, "Yeah, it's okay." Like, what is going on?
I was in pain, and Corey's just reading me the riot act, like, "Oh my God, you should really, really get these taken care of." And
it helped though.
It straight up did. Like when she had been done with one leg, it was like half the size of the other.
Seriously.
And so you learn that the lymphatic system in your body is the system that like kind of expels the waste. It's where all the lactic acid and all those kind of different things expels the waste, and you pee it out.
Yeah.
But with water retention, because you're pregnant and everything, it just kind of chills.
Yeah.
And so you need the massage to move it along, and then it helps so much just with your swelling, your joints. You feel way more comfortable with this big, huge belly than you would otherwise.
Hell yeah. That's what we're doing today. This episode it's like, you're pregnant, now what?
Yes.
And like, I'm at the last leg of being pregnant. And so you've helped me all the way through, but I need your goodness all today.
Yes.
To teach anybody that's on this journey.
Well, I realized when we were thinking about topics for the second season and stuff like that, she's pregnant, you know what I mean? Getting ready to have a baby, and like
2 babies.
Yeah, 2 babies. You guys.
I know, we're still in denial about
freaked
that.
out. And she has us. We're fresh. Like we have fresh, new baby, like insight. So just ask.
Your husband made lists. I was so impressed.
You forget. And you want to forget because you need to move on. I mean, you understand now because you need to have more children or whatever. But like,
I think God does that. I think the universe does that. They help you forget the pain.
Although they do
that.
say, they
So
say you forget the pain.
procreate.
No one I know forgets that pain.
Really?
Sorry.
Okay.
Hate to break it to you, but no.
Okay.
You're just further away from it than you were originally.
Right. Okay, so where do we start, V? Okay, so for people out there pregnant now or wanting to get pregnant, like I'm on my 8th month almost. So I got my own kind of specific, because I know when I got pregnant, you would tell me like, okay, this, and then it became really overwhelming for me in the beginning because I was like, let me go moment by moment, because I don't, we had to move into a bigger space, and even that takes time. But it's hard because like the hormones in your brain, you can't wrap it around everything at one time.
Yeah, and everybody's pregnancy is different.
School.
Yeah. It's not like just one pregnancy all the same. It's not at all. Different doctors, different bodies, different babies, different all of it. So just take this all with a grain of salt.
And replay it, because this will be good. So starting from the beginning.
And apply it to yourself as needed. You know what I mean? I'm not saying this is what it should be. But I know when I got pregnant and we had, taken a long time to get pregnant. So we were so happy when we did. And I had a beautiful pregnancy.
You did.
I was so grateful to all of a sudden have it, because you have those concerns of like morning sickness and stuff. Didn't have it at all.
Were you nauseous?
All right. No.
Wow.
Happy as pie. I was just like, la, la, la. And I didn't realize I had a craving, but I did for like ice cream.
How was your craving? You have any weird cravings?
Oh, I don't think so, no. Well, like, I love chocolate, so I wouldn't call it a craving. But I started eating M&Ms.
You had a demand for it, yeah.
I thought I could control my intake because they're so tiny.
Yeah.
That's still the thinking. Whatever.
I love it.
But yeah, ice cream. Because I don't eat ice cream. And I didn't eat like quarts of ice cream. I'd have a cone, But I'd ask my husband every night, like as if it was brand new, like, oh my God, I want ice cream. Isn't that weird? Can we go get a cone of ice cream, please? And and that was that. And he is patient and loving. And he was like, okay.
It's awesome. Did he get one too?
Yeah.
Oh, good. See, it could be a fun time together.
Oh, yeah.
To gain a little weight together.
Yeah.
Okay, so then now what? Like, what are things people need to know? Like, I'm in my 8th month. Okay, I want to talk about, I'm going forward.
Yeah.
But I don't even know what to put in the hospital back. Like, now I'm at the stage where I can think about that. Okay. I don't know much of anything.
So you've been through are you nesting? You're going through your nesting period.
Can we talk about this for a second? So the nesting thing.
Let's go backward, okay? So you got pregnant.
Yes.
You have to get used to the idea of being pregnant. All of a sudden you're like excited and happy and cool, but there's also that period of like, okay, let's just stay pregnant because they say don't tell anybody for the first few months.
We talked about that season 1.
Yeah.
Go back to season 1.
Yeah. But you don't want to tell anybody because just in case.
Right.
But then, then you get past that and that's wonderful. That's an accomplishment. And you're like, woo.
Right.
And then you go through the motions of announcing. So you have, whatever. You guys did a great picture thingy. We did a little video on Instagram.
Don't blow shit up, people. Don't do the gender reveals is one thing, but just be G-rated. Like, don't put explosives out there. I don't know. I didn't need that personally.
No, I didn't either. I was just kind of like, whatever.
Yeah.
I need to, and then some people don't want to know what it is. I need to know. I'm a planner.
Yeah, and we're having twins, so like we really needed to know.
Yeah, I don't, and no judgment. I just needed to know.
Me too. I would.
So, and you go through all those traditional things, and you ask yourself, and it's a very lovely, beautiful time, generally, with your husband or your partner, in getting prepared for this new.
And you found us we were using your OBGYN.
Love her doctor.
Because we were at UCLA and it just didn't fit for us. They were great, but once the doctor said to me, I was like, okay, so you're going to deliver a baby, because all the movies, the old movies of like one doctor always there.
Yeah.
When she said to me, oh no, your husband and you could have there could be like up to 20 doctors on rotation at the time.
Yeah.
So it just depends. And I was like, so I can't meet any of these doctors. She's like, I'll meet probably 2 or 3, but they're not guaranteed to be there. I was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Then we go to the doctor you told us to go to, who's wonderful. And she's like, I am always there. She's like, I don't take vacations. I was like, wow, she's a doer.
Yeah, because you have a backup person just in case.
I needed
she's like, I have one, but I'm going to be there. And I'm like, copy that. I love that.
Yeah, that's just my style. Some people don't care.
Well,
I
all right.
do.
Let's just say that, depending on your position, if you have coverage,
that's true.
what insurance covers,
True.
like, where you live, all that kind of different stuff, that'll determine how you're treated, your treatment, your pregnancy, all of that kind of stuff. And we were very fortunate enough to have an OB near us that, does an old school type of practice. And she's always there. She sees you. And yeah, exactly. Because I guess there are now a lot of groups where they have multiple doctors who kind of cover for each other. And so that they can, I guess, do more. But I like the one-on-one because I need to be able to communicate.
Me too.
we're older too.
Yeah.
So that's
more
a different
testing and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a different whole situation. And, if you're sensitive and which we are, then I need some I need some TLC.
Yeah, me
So,
too.
yeah.
To each his own, but I needed that too. But don't.
Yeah.
But again, you're the one hiring these doctor. You're interviewing this doctor.
Definitely
They're
look.
not just there's a lot of them out there, so
Yes.
it's a friendship at the end of the day as well.
Yes. You
Gotta
want somebody
connect.
with a good bedside manner that speaks to you
And your partner.
situation. Yes.
She's great with him,
Yeah.
you know, and she just talks to him and really sweet, you know.
Super. Yeah. It needs to be an all-inclusive affair because you're creating a family,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and eventually this person's going to take care of you afterward even, you know,
Exactly.
it's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then you get there, and then
So you start doing all the tests and you go for ultrasounds and stuff and again, based on your coverage and your insurance and everything, you know, you
your
go
age.
and your age, you get checked a lot. I got checked a lot. I was
my
going in
God.
for regular, and I did IVF, so I had regular ultrasounds all the time, which for me and Malcolm, it was great because you want to know the baby's kicking. It's going, everything's good, nothing's
Yeah.
going bad, and getting checked. I was like, yeah, do it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
let me know. He's good. Great. Heartbeat strong. Heartbeat strong.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So,
I thought it was going to be so weird at first when you feel, because I got two of them, but when I felt the kicks and stuff in my belly, I was like thinking of the movie Alien. I was like, this is going to be so weird. And then now I feel like it's so comforting.
yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, they're healthy. This is cool. I don't need to see like a handprint up in there, but like,
I was
but
so
they're
looking
moving
forward to that, though, and I
Yeah.
never got that.
Really?
Mine-
Yeah, I haven't had that yet.
Apollo was so chill.
Yeah,
he was just
still
like
so chill,
He's
which is
still
great.
super chill. I mean, he moves a lot at night. He's a wild sleeper, but like, pretty much he was very chill. He was happy to be in that belly. We had to push him out. But
Love it.
But like you go through the hormones, and the hormones
Right.
kind of also chill you out. You get really tired, and,
Yep.
but you get the glow. I mean, look at your glow. You look beautiful.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
I'm
you're-
rested a little bit,
Yes.
but then I can't sleep. But then you go through
You're so
that.
uncomfortable. Yeah, because
so-
you're getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Because the first trimester, I was a little nauseous. Then the second one, the energy was great.
you get a little bump in energy. Like all of a sudden,
Yeah.
you're like, "Woo!"
And I was
can
like,
do
I
stuff.
got this. And then they're like, the third's going to be hard. I was like,
You
no,
get
it's
tired.
not. I was like, I got that. But now I'm like, oh, okay. The nesting thing, going back to this.
So then she got all this, and she's like, "I got it. I'm fine." I'm like, "Okay."
No,
All
gotta sleep
right.
on the left side too.
Can't
This
tell.
is another thing. I sleep on my stomach usually. That left a long time ago.
And that's another thing too. With doctors, you'll hear a little bit of everything. Do your own research also. That was one thing about being pregnant. It's like, okay, I'm not just going to, based on our medical experience and everything that we had going through to get pregnant and everything, I was like, all right, I'm not just going to rely on the professional because they all have different opinions and stuff like that. And a lot of them say different things. And it's now 2021, and all the information that was way back when that your mom or your grandparents, your aunts and uncles are going to give you and tell you and all that stuff. You know what? We've progressed. There's more information now. There's new science. There's more stuff. Sometimes they're wrong now. They've learned from it. Then you shouldn't do those things. You need there's new stuff, and you're going to deal with a lot of that input. When you're newly pregnant, you're going to get so much unsolicited advice. Like after a certain point, I mean, I was like, I'm gonna thank you, cool. Let me find mine. you know? Yeah.
And also, you're going to get a lot of people giving you stuff, which let me tell
Hence
you.
the nesting. Yes.
Okay.
Back
but
to the nesting.
Let's go back to the nesting. So
Yes.
I'm a person, as you know, reset. My house is always like, make my bed, clean, all of that. I don't have the nesting. I don't know what this is. I've lost it. So I don't have a moment where things are, Vanessa, things aren't like, I'm getting it done, but I'm not excited about it. Like, does that make sense? I was more
Yeah.
excited about it when I had the energy. I just don't like, now I'm just like, put this in there. I think
Well, specific to
maybe I
your
had it early.
period when you
Maybe
were
I did it
entering the
earlier.
nesting period.
When was that?
You were moving.
Got it. That makes
So
sense.
that's why you kind of jumped over that natural feeling where you slip into the nesting. Because I remember when I got
Okay.
into that period, we're like, oh my God, okay, it needs a nursery, needs a crib, blah, blah, blah. What do we need?
Right.
And if you've never been pregnant before, you don't know what you need.
No.
So right away, this is why Google is
Mm-hmm.
your best friend. You get on those interwebs and you just start.
Or a
you know,
good
kind
friend
of
like
list.
you that knows. My mom, she had babies. I'm about to be 40.
Yeah,
She was like, why do these children have so many things? She's like, this is all so lovely, but I didn't have any of it. She's like, a warmer for your wife? She's like, what?
Yeah, but think about it.
I love
had
it now.
Harder.
They
had
did.
it way harder.
She's like, what?
I'm like, you know what? Give me the stuff. Is it going to make my life
this-
easier? Is it going to be more efficient? Is it going to be more like, effective in terms of caring for a screaming, wiggly
And I have 2.
baby, like all that
once?
stuff? Give it to me. I'll decide if I don't need it.
Yep.
Because how they parented is definitely going to be different than how you're going to parent. Like, you know what I mean? You just have to know that difference.
Yeah, it wasn't judgment. She was just like in awe. She was like, whoa.
My
But I
mom
also
does the same
think,
thing.
yeah. But I also think another tip you gave me going into this was baby stuff. I had no idea because I couldn't wrap my brain around it, but things are so expensive. So you had me, and got everybody, I don't care what your budget is in life, don't be above some hand-me-downs, like things that you, because they're gonna go through things so fast. I'm learning, and you're telling me, but like,
there's a shared kind of circle of passing forth.
Exactly. It can be a really
and everything.
beautiful thing.
Yeah, I got so many wonderful things from friends that would, hand me downs that were amazing, especially newborn clothes, stuff like that, because they're in it for like a week, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Sometimes they never even wear stuff, and so you're getting new stuff that was just
so
never
much stuff
worn.
with tags.
Yeah.
But you also told me to go to, there's a lot of these mommy places that you can go to where it's slightly used.
Yeah, in LA,
stuff.
there was, and Emily shared that with me, and I was just so grateful. It's
Emily, she's just on point
best.
with everything.
The LA Kids LA Consignment, and it's kind of like where parents, after their kids have gone through it and they're done, they'll put it up for sale and just put it up to the universal. Hey, here you go.
And it's slightly used, like, and the price difference though, you guys, like
massive.
Literally, like the high chair was what, $70, and these high chairs, I had no idea. And
Like
Vanessa, you were like,
$300-$400.
Yeah. You were like, get it. And I was like, okay. And now I have it, and I'm looking at the registry for another one because there's two babies coming. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, $300.
You can get super quality items for a fraction of the price.
They were
and
great stuff.
It's great. You know what I mean? You recycle, upcycle, reuse. That's a really good practice, especially where children are concerned at this point. You know, because yes, you do want new stuff, and you will.
Yes,
I recommend you definitely getting new things, like the stroller. Always get new, okay? Because there's always new advancement, new safety protocols, new all that stuff. Right. Car seats. Always get new, because new advancement, new protocol, new seatbelt attachments, things like that, new, fresh, you know what I mean? But like clothes, certain toys, you're going to run through toys constantly, stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. And then you get to that, you start nesting, the nursery, we got all that. And then...
And talk to friends. Look at the Bye Bye Baby, Target. They give you lists of things to cross off, and you can decide, what you want. And that's what informed me of how to set up the registry, because then you can, again,
she did my registry.
You start to plan a baby shower, and this is a beautiful way of welcoming your new baby into the world. And it's a practical thing, because it is a cost. Children cost, and like to start a whole new life with everything it needs and stuff, and this is you not letting people help you.
Here we go.
This is her own issue. But
don't spend other people's money, Shauna. That's what she always says.
Well, and I'm not saying you're swiping everybody's card. I'm just saying let people help you and they support you,
which is so beautiful. I could not believe it.
Endeavor.
No, it was lovely, and you said it. You're like, just put that on there. Maybe somebody, and then people have been like, oh, there's stuff on there, but I want to get you something extra special, and I'm like, wow, like this is just beautiful. It was really lovely.
Even diapers, because you're going to go through diapers.
Yeah. Okay, so then there's that. Now the bag for the hospital.
You're speeding through, boo.
Oh, okay. Go for it.
So you go. I mean,
please.
This is a planner.
I have no brain right
now. And so when we both, all of us, the friend group is kind of like on pins and needles. Like, oh my God, Shanna's gonna have a rude awakening, because she trying to plan to do, and I get it, okay, because that's how I am. And how I definitely was in like a more aggressive way also. And then, I had to kind of let go at a certain point and be like, I don't know what's going to be on the other side of this. Like, I'm prepared now for the actual having, I think. And there's a certain amount of denial, because it's a huge, massive, I don't know, question mark, right? And then you just don't know what's going to happen when you go bring bring them home.
Yeah.
So we're all here and you have your friends and you have your unit and the whole thing. You plan as much as you can. So that's what the baby shower is. That's
Couldn't
what all
have
this.
one because of COVID.
Right.
But we'll have a sip
But you
and
have a
see
registry.
later.
A sip and see is something that you have like 6 months later after you've gone through the first 6
Sip
months.
alcohol and see the babies.
Yes. But
Fun.
you can have
Party.
a registry. And so she's
Yeah.
had a beautiful registry to help you prep. And then now you do the classes.
Yes.
Which I highly
Good point.
recommend. You need, you know, and hospitals offer classes that help you prepare you to give birth, to have a baby, to breastfeed, to all the things that you need to know, right? Even like one class that was super helpful for me and Malcolm was the C-section anesthesia class.
You took that?
Because, and you can think, well, I'm not going to have that. I'm going to have a natural baby. Well, just in case there's I had an emergency C-section and you just want to know what you're getting into so that all of a sudden when something happens, you have to make decisions, you can be informed.
Right.
You just got to inform yourself. And I just recommend to people to be proactive in informing yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't
Have
be
that
afraid.
confidence.
Yeah. Because we've had friends where they just are so freaked out. They don't know and they don't want to know. They want to be ignorant. And so they just let it happen to them. And so when it happens, it's all such a trauma that it's like, it's awful. And you don't want that. This is something that you're happening to, you're doing for your baby. You're, you know, so you have a hand in it. You decide for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, don't let, because pregnancy brain happens.
I'm there.
Yeah. You know, but that's why you have your partner, your friends, your, you know, support group. But again, you know, don't listen. There's advice and then there's advice.
Yeah.
So you also have to do your own work. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So classes.
And the classes, so there's breastfeeding. And I don't know about you, but I was very anxious about breastfeeding.
Okay.
Because I wanted to be able to breastfeed.
Yeah.
And I've heard so many crazy nightmare stories about like the latching on and not having enough milk and all those different things. So I was really super anxious about it. But it turned out to be all right. Like I was able to latch, you know. But during the class, they give you the basics. It's just weird. I don't know if you've experienced this. Like since you don't know from anything, you haven't had a kid before.
No.
You don't know what you're not getting.
Right.
You don't know what to ask. So you're like, all right, that's how you hold the baby. Cool. And I should just, all right. So I guess it'll just happen. I mean, I don't know about you, but I need to practice. I need to rehearse. I need to do stuff to do things right.
The actor in you. Yeah.
So when all of a sudden this actual baby is in my hands and they're like, okay, time to now get him used to latch on. I was like, huh? And I just remembered all the different advice from like Corey. Corey's one was the one that really advised. So you take that
She's rough.
Shove it in the mouth.
Yeah.
But it helped the most and it actually worked.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of like ins and outs that you don't get from those classes, but they're still there helpful. And then you can fill in by
there's a confidence
Googling.
level that's nice to take those classes.
Yes.
Yeah. Be informed.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, that's just a good rule in life. Get informed.
Yeah, because you guys have taught me way more than those classes, but it's nice to just feel as though I know what the hospital looks
foundation.
like. Yeah, walking in and all of that.
And they don't have to be, you know, people think, oh, it costs so much.
No, it wasn't bad.
No, the $20, $40. You don't have to go to the big, you know, fancy bougie.
Yeah.
You can just do the basic foundational stuff. So it's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what, Vanessa?
Well, okay. And then as part of the class, then you have to just learn how to, you know, for me, it was getting mentally prepared to be able to push out a baby outside of a, like I had that fear too. And then, Malcolm, we had friends that did hypnotherapy. So,
what do you mean?
Hypnotherapy is a way of,
breathing?
No. It's just a natural, it's
sedation?
It's a way of actually giving birth. Like it's a whole philosophy on how to give birth naturally. Not that I wanted to give birth. And let's clarify, when you say giving birth naturally, it means you're having a vaginal birth.
Right.
It doesn't mean you're not going to get,
epidural.
you know, the epidural or whatever like that. It means you're going to have a vaginal birth. You can get all the drugs if you want.
Okay.
So but hypnotherapy, they do believe in natural births, no drugs, nothing. You're in the tub at home, all that stuff. I got it.
Not in a hospital?
Like, not in a hospital, all that. The whole drive for me to want to do that and for us to do it is like, honestly, the answers to the fear of giving birth. Because I just need to wrap my head around that whole aspect, because you have the idea from film and TV of, when you're pushing and then you see the actresses screaming and you're like, ah! and like
sweating and stuff.
Yeah. And
that's not an epidural.
No,
that's what they
birth.
do. That's not birth. I heard that's birth if you're not getting an epidural.
No, that's not real.
It's not real.
No, that's why it's film and TV. People forget. It's
Really?
Film and TV. It's fake. They have to do that
There's
for
no
drama.
sweating?
See, this is why I know you're like not doing the stuff. Like, I will show you some more classes and things, because you have to look at births. Look at some real births.
Yeah.
Even in the hospital, and what it really is. And the breathing that helps you through the pushing and the pain and all that. And what your partner should do to help support that and everything. And that's what that class was for. And it really helped us, because I went, oh, okay. Because I didn't know.
Right.
And like the basic Lamaze birthing class, they tell you just breathe 10 and then push. And you're like, it's like taking a big crap. And you're like, no, that's like your first highway road to Hemorrhoid City. Like, no. So
that does not sound fun.
No. And so that's why you need to. And did you take the birthing class yet?
Honey, did we take the birthing class? I feel like we did.
Yeah, we did.
Well, yeah.
And what they tell you?
What'd they tell us?
See?
I feel like
clueless.
It's
Like
not
at
very-
this point right now, she's going to go to the hospital and be like, what am I supposed to do?
no, but they didn't really teach us anything. I did, like, they were just like, yeah, breathing, the 1-2, the side position, him helping. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just such a person that goes with, I don't know. Maybe maybe we need a Lamaze class. I don't know.
Well, that's
Malcolm. Yeah.
And Vanessa, it is just to clarify, it is
Yeah.
real. All the pushing and stuff.
Yeah, no, it is real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is to relax your body.
Yes.
So it doesn't have to be that.
Okay.
Traumatizing
Got it.
and
It's
hard.
the whole
Right.
idea of it, of not letting the body do. It's going to deliver naturally.
Yes.
Okay.
So it
But-
helps you with that, and so it's not
Okay.
always such
But
a
the
pain
pushing,
and a push.
that's
Yeah.
all mental. That's all seeing it on TV.
Got
That's
it.
all science behind
Okay.
getting that idea out of your mind.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you for the clarification.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you very much, babe.
Okay.
Remember, you almost naturally have to forget. So that's what we did. I needed that because it was very stressful for me, and you need to relax in order for your cervix to open so the baby can fit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Makes
And
sense.
get out. Because if you're stressed and you're tight the whole time, your whole will go
Makes sense.
and just
Yeah.
stay. And then that's, closer to a C-section or whatever than you would want to be if you want to give naturally.
Right.
And then, so once you take all your classes and you're there and you inform yourself and you address your questions and fears and all that kind of stuff, then because you're geriatric,
Can't wait.
we didn't know this. You go to the doctor a lot. You
I know,
get
I'm learning
these things
this.
called non-stress tests where they just constantly check on the baby.
What they put stuff on your belly and
They
stuff.
do little
like
heart
little
monitors,
heart monitors
on
Okay.
your belly, and you just sit there and chill, and just they want to make
And
sure
this
the heart
delicious
is going.
apple juice your husband keeps telling me about that they
it's
give
the
you
best.
that.
Well, is it apple juice or cranberry juice? Because, well, for me, I did a lot because the Apollo was chilling. He was just always like hanging.
He's so chill.
He'd move around. I don't know if he was sleeping, but he was just like whatever.
I love it.
They needed him to be more active, so they were like, "All right, we know what he needs. I think just
The
give me this
delicious apple juice.
cold, crisp apple juice
Yes.
and this little bits of ice." And I was just like, "Mm." And he would jump. And I was
Okay.
like, okay.
That's coming soon. All
Yeah.
right.
So and then time comes, and I
Okay, but what about packing the bag? I'm still freaked out about packing the bag.
So you pack the bag. You should pack the bag maybe a month beforehand, month and a half
I'm there.
beforehand.
I'm
Okay.
there. So I need to pack the bag now. I'm a little nervous because it's COVID too. So I'm like, we can't go
Right.
back and forth. You can't go home and get stuff
Right.
out. Like, I'm a little freaking out. So what's in this bag?
Okay, so I was also very concerned about aftercare because yes, you're preparing everything for the baby and everything like that.
Right.
But a wonderful friend of ours said, "No one ever talks about you, and you're a person too."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah." And that's what was like, giving me so much anxiety. I was like, I know, my poor vagina, the destruction. She's like, girl, you don't even know. And I'm like, well, what do you do? What happens? So she like, it was insane. You get like these perennial ice packs and stuff. I mean, Google, like I said,
they give this
your best
to you.
No, I mean, you can get ice packs and things, but they don't give it to you. They give you some pads and they give you paper panties.
I saw those.
Yeah. At the hospital. But no, you bring your own stuff. So I had, I got perennial ice packs, cold packs, stuff like that. There's a donut pillow.
Oh, you gave me that, right?
I gave you the donut pillow. And it helps because because your whole stuff down there is swollen and all out of shape, the whole thing, and you're going to sit down in it
doing Kegels
and just mush it. Like, no. So the donut pillow kind of helps support you in your back and just gives you some space so that it can chill.
Okay. Yeah.
There's a squeeze bottle because going to the bathroom is going to be a whole brand new experience.
Okay.
And because you're stretched out, it's just been through a traumatic thing. It's like a whole what? It was crazy because Frida Baby is this new like brand, right? And they of like mom products, baby products, and they had this amazing commercial that was supposed to run, I guess, during the Super Bowl or one of those big ones. And they took it off the air. They didn't run it. Because and all it did was show a realistic version of a woman who just gave birth going to the bathroom and using the products.
At Super Bowl?
Using the products. Okay. Well, because you reach so many people.
That's
and
true.
I'm sorry, but everybody came out of a woman.
But I'm not going to want to eat my chips and guac during
whatever. It may not have been the Super Bowl, but it was some event thing or whatever.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And it was the most
male sporting time.
Hey,
sorry.
Men need to understand what happens. Okay, look at it. This is before she knows. Watch her give birth, and she's going to be like, "Oh my god!" Like, trust me, it's real. Mm-hmm. And you're there, and it's just an experience, And it was such a beautiful commercial because I was like, "Oh my god!" No one talks about that.
Yeah,
no one ever talks about the aftercare. Down to, just not only the bathroom, but the bleeding. You're bleeding for like weeks, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And on top of you just learning how to breastfeed, the bras, you need new bras because your boobs are holding the feeding bras.
Do I bring that in my bag as well?
You bring the feeding bras.
Okay.
The breastfeeding bras.
Okay.
You bring the breastfeeding pillow.
Okay.
Otherwise, you're going to have nurses stuffing every kind of pillow underneath you, and you're just going to be so uncomfortable and not know what to do.
Right.
While you're still trying to figure out how to latch a baby.
Right.
Who's not eating yet because your milk hasn't come in yet.
Right.
I mean, there's so many things happening all at the same time, know?
Yeah. Breastfeeding pillow. Okay.
Breastfeeding pillow. A change of clothes. A robe. It gets cold in the hospital.
And then with a change of clothes, is it like pants, like stuff that's
leggings,
comfy, stretchy leggings and a shirt?
Yeah, because you're not going to want to.
Putting up jeans on there.
Yeah. I mean, you can.
I haven't seen jeans in 100 years, so it doesn't matter. Yeah.
But, warm socks, really cozy warm socks. Because
Okay.
you can have the hospital warm socks, but you want your own cozy socks, right?
Mm-hmm. That's good.
This was new, and I didn't know this. Like, the very next day, you have your baby, and you're there. All of a sudden, this photographer will come into your room.
Oh, yes.
And be like your newborn photo. And it's the old school classic picture of the baby in the stripe cap with the, swaddle.
And they provide the cap and the swaddle.
Yeah.
Okay. That's old school.
Yeah, that's the hospital. It's all the hospital gear and take everything from the hospital because it's the best. The swaddle is always the best. Like, the nose sucker is always the best. They'll give you all of those things.
Okay. So extra bag.
Yes, always bring an extra bag that's collapsible in your thing because you're going to fill it with a bunch of stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, that photographer will come in there and then sell you on a package of what you want. You know what? It's based on you and what you can do or whatever, but I did it. Okay. We did it.
Did you bring makeup?
Well, that's what I was about to say.
Okay.
No, I wasn't prepared at all. My hair had been in a bun for I don't know how long at that point.
Birth, yeah.
And I had just given birth and I was like, what? You look exhausted, wiped out, but there's
You actually look beautiful in yours.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Man. I was also very high. I was on a lot of drugs.
You did look relaxed too.
I was very on drugs.
Right.
And and you take a photo. But I did have presence of mind to be like, is my hair okay? And she was so kind. She actually fixed my hair for me.
Sweet.
But yeah, so that's something to think about.
Okay. Like a mirror.
Yeah. Brush. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Your toothbrush.
Food.
Basic things.
Pillow for the hubby.
Well, they provide all that.
They
There
like
was a
plasticky
pull-out.
pillows,
There's a
but-
pull-out. No, it's fine.
Okay.
It's a pillow you're going to be using. It's the
Okay.
same thing. But I guess in the time of COVID, I would bring food to snack on. We ordered
Right.
Domino's and had delivery, but I doubt that the hospital will let you do that this
Okay.
time. And then I'm trying to think. See, this is where the memory starts to
And
go.
then you get your baby. Then you go to the hospital.
Oh, bring baby clothes.
Yeah,
So you're
what-
going to
like
bring
what?
baby.
Like a-
bring a onesie.
A onesie, a newborn onesie.
A newborn onesie. I mean, the hospital
Little
will give you
hat,
something, but
little booties.
you're going to want a cute thing for those photos
Okay.
that, that photographer is going to come in for, and also something to bring your baby home in, on top of the fact that you're going to need your car seat.
They have to be ready.
Yeah, that's leave that for your husband to figure out.
And they
You know what I
check
mean?
that.
They
right?
have to. You don't get released until they make sure you have a car seat
Good.
and it's installed.
Not pulling a
and
Britney
it's running.
Spears country, putting it in your arms and just driving away.
Yeah, no, not possible.
that was a thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then just comfort things. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when your milk does come in, if it comes in while you're still at the hospital, I would just in case bring some those guards, those bra guards for your those nipple pads.
Okay. Nipple pads.
Stuff
okay.
like that. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so you have the baby. They hand you the baby. And then I'm learning this too, that the milk, like the colostrum, all that cannot, like it may not come in for a while. And the baby can go days without.
Okay, so breastfeeding.
Yeah. I just thought like a movie, like, oh, like on your chest.
You got to take
boom,
away the
you're
whole
done.
movie thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lactation nurse that is part of the postpartum ward that will
Okay.
help all the moms coming in. But
She comes in once.
no, as needed. You
Okay.
can always call
Ask.
for the nurse and ask for her to come in if you have questions and things. But she may be helping somebody else, so you might be waiting.
Right.
And it happens when it happens, and sometimes it's painful. Like for me, my boobs gorged, and your boobs will gorge when the milk first comes in.
Okay.
Okay, and they're like massive. It's almost like you just had breast surgery, and there's no moving, and it's
The body's amazing.
yeah,
Wow.
it is. But as it comes in, it's supposed to come in the first night or the second night, and it's just supposed to just come in there, and you massage slowly,
Yeah,
slowly,
that's what the
and
process
it looks veiny.
Okay.
Because those are the milk trails for
Yeah.
it to come into your
Yeah.
nipples that got super dark all of a
amazing.
sudden because it's prepping for the baby to
They
feed.
say that the nipples are dark because the babies see black and white, and like
Yeah.
they can see where the nipple is.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, and they smell you. So, like, when
Fascinating.
you shower and stuff like that, don't put all this, like, scented stuff or whatever.
Right.
They're wanting to smell you
they
and
said.
everything.
Yeah.
Although, you get chappy chap. So, I put those natural nipple butter.
Should I bring that to the hospital as well?
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
good to know. All right.
And most women I know got a lactation nurse afterward.
Okay.
You know what I mean? To help learn how to feed the baby with the boob and be comfortable and position yourself so that you could, it takes a practice. It's just that one class ain't going to do it.
Right.
Especially over Zoom. You're like,
Yeah.
what?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, and mine gorged, and then it was very painful, and it wouldn't, the milk wouldn't fall. That's what they're calling fall, like come down and actually release out. So our baby, he lost like a pound, and they almost said we'd have to give him formula to substitute until the milk actually starts to fall.
Okay.
But
there's no shame in that.
no,
I know people
no shame
with
at
that.
all.
Yeah.
And if you decide not to breastfeed,
Right.
and you want to just pump, that's
Right.
an option. The hospital will show you how to pump. They
Mm-hmm.
have pumps there, and they'll show you how to use it. And I had to use the pump to help me express the milk,
Right.
and that actually helped the milk come in more and drop it as well. So that's another thing. And bring the pump with you just in case.
Okay.
If you want them to show, if they want to show you or ask them how to show you how to use your pump.
Okay, so then you are sent home. Like, did you and Malcolm have a moment where, like, they were like, it's time to go home. And you're like,
Oh, yeah.
this is ours for the rest of our lives. And it's just us going home with a baby. Like, how was that?
Our situation was a little
I
different.
see Malcolm over there. He's
Yeah.
shaking. He's like,
Our situation was a little different. We were there a long time, and those nurses were amazing. And so they really showed us how to do it. But by the time they were like, okay, you can go home now, we were like, I needed one more day of like some lactation help with my boob, because it took a really long time. And if they didn't express themselves the way they had, you can get infected, mastitis, and that creates a whole other situation. Oh. So, but the next day when we went home, I felt prepared, like, that we went home and we knew what we were doing, right? Yeah. Okay. So, but generally they'll send you home before you do anything.
In a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They want you out of there. They need that bed.
Especially with COVID too right now.
Absolutely.
As well.
Absolutely. Yeah. But, yeah. And there's always that moment when you come home, and it could be the minute you come home that night or the very next day. It's either the second day. I would always say second day from home, when you realize you're so exhausted.
Oh boy, let's talk about this. Yeah. But why are we so exhausted? Is it a mental, physical? Is it both? Did you have somebody on hand that helps? Because I'm hearing about everything. Exhaustion.
I mean, look at you. You're barely sleeping, right? It's uncomfortable for you to sleep.
Right.
But you're sleeping. And then all of a sudden you're contracting and you're giving birth. And how long is that going to be? Right. It could be hours.
Right.
You know, you hear those magical stories of like, yeah, I contracted and I just pushed him out in like hours. And I was just like, fuck you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because for us, I was almost 24 before we had to like do things. And
especially with a C-section.
There's no sleep.
And then the recovery of a C-section as well.
Yeah, but I haven't slept.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you have a baby, and now you have to learn how to do baby things. Mm-hmm. You have not slept.
Well, let's go back to that. Malcolm was saying that he should have slept. You guys should have, you too, but you can't sleep. He can sleep, right? For the 12 out, like, it's a 24-hour period, right?
I couldn't have slept during the contraction and all that kind of different stuff. I mean, you can rest somewhat a little bit, or if you have an epidural, I hear that it's easier and you can rest a little bit and stuff. Okay. My epidural, I had the epidural, but it just went awry. Mm-hmm. For those of you, just as a cautionary tale, if you're ever feeling that because you're not supposed to feel anything, you're not supposed to feel any pain with the epidural.
Okay.
My epidural line slipped, and so I was feeling everything, and you should. Your partner, whoever's your support person, should say, if you are feeling uncomfortable and you have chosen to do that, then you should tell them, no, double check it, please. Make sure that it did not slip, and make sure it's still in the line.
I would never even think that was a thing.
Didn't know it was a thing. I don't think our nurses knew that was a thing.
You have one job. Do your job. Like, why would it slip? But anyway.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
All that stuff. Mm-hmm. So yeah. Mm-hmm. So ours was a little funky, but it would be. Yeah, you know what I mean? You're just tired. It's everything. And I don't know how to explain it to you until you're in it.
Would you say get help if you could have help? Like always ask for, people are saying just ask for help. This is what I'm hearing all the time.
You mean when you bring the baby
help,
home?
ask for help, yes. And
100%.
then you're going to cry a lot. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing a lot.
Well, you have such a drop in hormones.
Right.
There's you're so hot. Look at you. You're hot. Your hair is beautiful. You have the glow.
Oh God.
So you're supporting.
Now I'm going to be Tales from the Crypt when I'm done.
All those trust. You're look at all the vitamins you're taking.
Right,
I mean, it's just everything is on all cylinders.
Do I keep taking those vitamins?
Yes, you do.
Okay. And then I am taking a vitamin D, but not very high. Do I up my vitamin? Because you and Malcolm
Your doctor will tell you.
Okay, because you were saying vitamin D helps with the milk.
No. So breast milk, if you're breastfeeding the babies, the whole thing, there is no vitamin D in breast milk.
Didn't know that. Good to know.
So the your pediatrician, who you're going to choose soon, is going to tell you when you're breastfeeding that you need to add vitamin D to the breast milk that you're feeding him, or you just give the baby through a dropper vitamin D through a little bit.
Good to know.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you had help a little bit, like where you guys could sleep and take turns.
Yeah, we were very, very fortunate. Okay. So my mother lives with us. You know, my sister-in-law is here. So between all of us, there was help with the baby so that Malcolm and I could get some rest, and then. He is so amazing. He set up kind of like a night schedule a little bit so that I could get some sleep, so that I could be a functioning person to be with the baby and feed and during the day, the whole thing, while they call the first 3 months after a baby's born the fourth trimester. And that's when it's growing the most. There's all these initial doctor visits and shots, and, you're learning how to be a parent at the same time. And you're just going through a whole initial, quite honestly, like identity crisis and just new world, new everything. It's all different. And so what do you have to figure that out.
Right.
Especially if you're older coming to it, because you've had a life, you know what you do, you work, you're this, and now it's all upended.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. And then the stages and the milestones. So so tell me what the tongue thing, educate. What was the milk on educate me.
Okay. So, well,
you guys are blowing
Apollo,
my mind with things. Okay.
So, I didn't realize that, or we didn't know that you clean their tongues and their mouths. They have no teeth or anything, but you clean them out with a little, gauze pad.
Every day?
After you feed
after
them,
feed them? Okay.
Once a day or whatever.
Okay.
Because if you don't, there's a possibility that they could get thrush. Now, Apollo got it because he was very gassy.
Okay.
And so I thought, what to help with gas, some people recommend probiotics. So I started giving him some probiotics to help. You can give gripe water. You could, which I recommend, period, for every mom. And it's by moms for moms, so do it. And it helps with any kind of fussiness and upset stomach, because you have to realize all their organs, everything is still developing. It's all brand new, so they got to get used to it.
Yeah.
They've never pooped, so they got to learn how to poop.
Yeah.
They've never peed. They have to get used to pee. It's bananas.
Yeah.
And so that's how gripe helps. But then we gave him probiotics, and it helped, but it also lent itself to him getting thrush. And what thrush is candida. It's kind of like yeast buildup from the milk and everything on the back of his tongue, and it makes the tongue white. So it's not like milk tongue necessarily, because they can have after you drink milk, there's some white residue and stuff, and that's why you want to clean the mouth.
Okay.
But it just got a thick white finish right
layer.
there. Yeah.
Okay.
So we had to give him antibiotics.
Okay.
But that's a thing.
I did not even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Another thing was he was jaundiced.
Okay, and explain what jaundice is.
Jaundice is a buildup of old red blood cells that put too much bilirubin in the system, and which creates like a yellowish color on the baby.
Okay.
And a lot of babies of color, Black, Asian, are predisposed to having jaundice. It's a really common thing. Yeah. So there's many ways of dealing with it. A lot of doctors will just want it to, they'll pee and poop it out.
Okay. Does it affect their sleep?
They get very sleepy.
Oh, they get very sleepy.
Yeah, and you think, oh my God, we have such a good baby.
Right.
No. And so
Okay.
doctors and hospitals are always checking for the jaundice thing. And they'll either say, hey, the level is too high. We need to put them under bilirubin lights. So they'll put them under these like kind of ultraviolet light things that are, that'll kind of get rid of it. But
Okay.
I hear it's not comfortable for the babies. So they like to do it naturally. And the one way we did it was through fortifying the milk, which is mixing breast milk with formula, or just giving the baby formula straight out.
Interesting.
And and because in breast milk, there's a protein in there that stops the proteins that'll break down the bilirubin in the baby system.
Okay.
This is a lot of information. I'm so
No,
sorry.
it's fascinating.
But
I
it
love
stops it from actually expelling the jaundice. So that's why they tell you to just pump so you can keep the breast milk going, but give formula.
Interesting.
Because it allows for that protein to go in there and bust it out.
Huh. Wow. Learning a lot here.
A lot. And some doctors don't tell you. Like, it was weird.
No,
My
it's
doctor
weird.
didn't really.
Yeah.
It was a very odd. We learned from my sister-in-law. She was like, oh, the baby had that. We did this. And it helped much better than what the doctor advised, which was, oh, he'll naturally poop and pee it out. And we're like, no, we want it out now.
Yeah. Yeah.
We want it done now.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there's all these different things. That's why I say ask for help.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you don't know what's going on, because you're going to get freaked out every single time there's something. And you're going because you're afraid you're going to break
Yeah.
both of them.
Yeah.
And you're going to be exhausted. Make sure that you have food
Yes.
piled up in your fridge.
I don't know how I feel though about this food train system though. That's the only thing. It sounds very entitled. Like Corey was telling me the other night that she was like, she was like, I want to bring you food. And the girl said to her, I don't like this girl anyway, but this girl said to her, well, just put it on the food train, pick a time and then you can come over. I was like, that takes away from the joy of, and Corey's like, I couldn't come over at 5 because it's traffic or whatever. It's like, if people want to give you, that's lovely. I already have my brother meal prepping for us. Like I already have him on that being
whatever
like,
it takes.
You want to help? You can help meal prep for like a week or two. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I felt funky about it too. But then I realized when we got home, it was like, oh, we got to figure out the food situation. Like, because you're so busy doing this and you're tired that you don't even have time to cook.
Yeah.
So that's why you want like a whole bunch of casserole dishes frozen in there that you can just pop in the microwave. If somebody is dropping off food to you, you go, thank you so much.
Exactly.
And now I get why people were like, oh, she just had a baby here. Let me bring them something.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Totally. And that is not a weird thing.
Card for DoorDash, like all that. Very lovely. Now I'm getting it.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And that's the thing. If they can't make an appointment, here's a Postmates. Here's a thing. Like, do it. Yes.
Okay. And let me ask you,
Receive.
because I do, I work from home. I do a lot of social media. I do a lot of stuff. Am I going to be checked out completely for like a few months, like weeks? Like, how does that work? I know everyone's different, but
everyone's different, but you are, especially that first month. Yeah.
Okay.
And with
so I should schedule everything beforehand.
See, look at this. She keeps talking about schedule. It's a beautiful thing.
No, I'm talking about posts. So if I have to schedule all my stuff before, that's what I'm really working hard this month to do is like getting all the apparel out, getting all the stuff out that I need to do so that I feel calm and let myself lean into just the chaos of the circus that's about to happen and enjoy it, as opposed to like, oh, I've got this work to do. I've got, it's just really, that's where my nesting's coming in is with the workload.
Yeah. Do it.
Yeah.
Do it. It'll make you feel better.
Yeah.
Less anxiety. I say yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because I was barely on the phone. I don't think I could even remember.
Yeah.
Oh, bring your chargers. Don't forget to bring your chargers.
Okay. That's a good one too.
Add that to the bag.
They don't have that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's just so many
There's so
things.
much. And please write down, if you guys are about to have a baby or
all
you're
the
pregnant
advice
right now, any advice, because I'm just learning the thrush, I'm learning all of that. Malcolm, you wrote so many lists. Do you have anything else that we should cover in this one? Because I was impressed.
In your bag, well, it won't fit in the bag, but the ball.
Oh, yes. The big exercise ball.
Oh, okay. Got it. We have one of those actually in the cabinet.
Well, and that's a good thing for you now. You should be sitting on a ball and helping your hips, relax your lower back.
No birthing class told us about the ball.
They don't. This is the hypnotherapy help with that.
Okay.
It helps with all of those things.
Okay.
Like, look, I was all about women's self-care. No, that's a special other class that you can. Got it. Because it's a philosophy on how to take birth.
Yeah, I'll take that.
And it just kind of helped with all those things.
Okay.
And it was a real beautiful, just easing and making it.
The ball.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I was really into just self-care in terms of being pregnant and how that helps to give the birth. I'm really like, as long as, if the mom's okay, the baby will be okay, that type of thing. Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to do that.
How you feeling over there about all this, Christopher?
Yeah, sounds good. And change your clothing for also daddy too.
Oh yes, change your clothing for daddy. Yep.
Okay, change your clothes, and then did you shower there?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Yeah. So they're like bring the flip flops. I'm like, are we in college again, where you share the dorm and like the flip flops? Like, did you bring the flip flops?
For a shower. They wouldn't let me shower.
No, I didn't. I just had to go recreation center with it and just use the shower.
Yeah. Recreation center with it.
Oh well,
it's a hospital.
If I get athlete foot, okay. What can you do,
dude?
I love it.
It was crazy, but it's a what is it? A passage of.
Rite of passage.
Rite of passage, for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
You'll be wonderful. You'll be good.
Yeah.
You're going to own it.
His own. Yeah.
For sure.
I'm just listening to anxiety. So, yeah.
Do all the things to get rid of the anxiety.
Yeah.
If you need to pre-schedule stuff or whatever, do it.
Well, now that we have insurance, they knocked us off. I was telling you, they knocked us off last month, and
that's
it's like
definitely a factor.
It's insane, and I feel so bad for people that can't afford insurance or don't have it, or and they have to
I've
go.
spoken to
And,
so many women that only went to an ultrasound like twice while they were pregnant. That blows my mind.
Really?
Look how many you've already
I
gone
lost
to.
sleep all of February not being able to go to any.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then it's just, my husband says it's not healthcare, it's a health business, and they don't care.
It absolutely is.
Our doctor was great because she was
Yeah.
like trying to help us
Supportive.
out with all of that with no insurance for the month. But
Yeah.
that's disgusting. How do they just like knock us off?
America's one of the worst with giving birth and stuff. It's the most expensive place on the planet
I know.
to give
It's
birth
ready to
and
move
have a
every
baby.
day. I know.
Yeah.
I know. Anything else? This is great. And then I guess
I'm sure there's a lot.
Season 3 is going to be a lot of what I experienced of all of this too, taking your advice and then.
Yeah. Oh, I would just recommend once you put everything together now, just play with it so you know what it's for.
Oh, good call.
Because you don't know yet what all the things are for. I'm just telling you, hey, you should have this, you should have that, you should have this.
Right.
The minute your asses get home with that baby, you're going to be like, oh, and you're going to grab all the stuff.
Yeah.
So just play with it now so you know what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Malcolm, anything?
Yeah. Anything, babe?
I think you guys covered it.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Yeah.
It's a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you don't get it yet right now. It's
No.
all here. But
I
there
can't
was
wait to
some
come back season 3
There was,
and be like,
as you say, there's some front pocket advice in there, and there's some
Right.
back pocket advice. So
I like
you know
it.
what?
I'll
And you'll
take it
come
both.
back around. Yeah.
And trust, go with the people that you trust.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because
Yes.
so many people have given me different advice, all of that. And I was like, no, I don't need that from you. You know what I mean? I don't
Educate
trust
yourself.
I
Follow
wouldn't
your
let them
own-
give me directions, let alone give me advice about having
I'm telling you,
kids.
follow your own orange juice smarts. Educate yourself.
Orange juice smarts. Back to
Yes.
JJ. Orange juice
Yes.
smarts. Yes.
You got to.
I had a lettuce.
Oh, Zach. What is that? What's the head of lettuce? The cabbage on
That's
boobs? Is that the?
Oh, cabbage.
So
It was a
I was
cabbage
so
and lettuce.
gorged, and my milk was not. My milk had come in, but I was so gorged that it wasn't coming out. Like it wasn't expressing itself. And one of the things when it's so gorged, you're gonna learn. Your boobs are gonna be your best friends. They're not even like boobs in that way. They're just parts that need to work. And
We're heifers.
yes, and This is where cold and hot come into play.
Okay.
And heat
gave me
supports the
heating
milk to
pads.
come in.
Okay.
And then a cold is to kind of calm it down so that the milk stops or chills out for a hot minute. But you don't want to do too cold because then you'll shut down some milk production. You don't want to shut down your milk production, right?
Okay.
And so it was a combination of that. But because I was in the state of gorging that I was in, the nurse was like, all right, we're just going to have to do this. Can your mother go get some cabbage? Because apparently there's a juice, there's a thing in the cabbage that pulls out and chills the gorging and brings it down.
Huh.
And so my mom brought the cabbage. They stuck it in the fridge and then froze them. And then I just had to wear them
Frozen.
like
Okay.
overnight or something. And I smelled like salad.
But it didn't work.
Oh God, the relief. I was like, oh, there's
There
a
you go.
picture. Is
I want to see that picture.
Yeah, I'll show you.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but there's just crazy things happen and you just have to go with it. But at least, with education and information, just read about it, look about it. You may not know why or understand,
Right.
but you're at least forewarned for certain things so that when it does come up, you can make an informed decision. That's all I can say to that.
There you go.
Because a lot happened with us. And if we hadn't done the education,
Right.
it would have been a nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Malcolm has notes like he could write a dissertation. That was pretty incredible.
You wanna
Yeah,
remember.
it's
You
pretty
wanna know.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if you're on the next journey with it. Yeah.
To have another kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love you.
You're having two, girl. It's like it's
Two
making-
and through. If it's up to me, two and through. My husband's shaking his head. He wants a village.
Oh, I know.
He wants a soccer team. That's what he wants. So
Yeah.
mold.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, on that note. Okay. Thanks, BB.
You're welcome.
And thanks, Mac, for your help.
Yes.
And Topher for being here. It's cool. All right. We're on talk.
We're
You
here
get
for
us
you.
all.
We're here for you, boo.
Thanks, girl.
And when you need to sleep, you call.
Okay.